Now listen carefully and pay attention to this. The invisible war of money. Why the rich play a different game. If you think money is simply paper, numbers on a screen, or a tool used to buy things, then you have already lost the first battle. Because money is not currency. Money is influence. Money is leverage. Money is power stored in physical form. And for centuries, the majority of people have been taught how to earn money, while very few have been taught how money actually works. There is a difference, a massive difference. One creates workers, the other creates empires. And tonight, we enter the silent battlefield. The battlefield where nations rise and fall, where friendships are tested, where families are divided, where dreams are born, and where most people unknowingly surrender their future. Before we begin, comment below. Learning the game. I want to know who is ready to see beyond the illusion, because what you are about to hear may completely change how you view wealth, success, and your own life. Let's begin. Imagine two young men. Both start with nothing. Both come from similar backgrounds. Both have the same 24 hours in a day. 20 years later, one owns businesses, controls assets, and enjoys freedom. The other struggles from paycheck to paycheck. What happened? Was it intelligence, luck, education, connections? Perhaps. But there is something deeper. One learned the mechanics. The other learned the instructions. The world teaches instructions. Wake up, go to school, get a job, work harder, save money, retire. That is the instruction manual. But beneath the surface exists another system. The mechanics, the hidden engine. And those who understand the engine eventually control the vehicle. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power rarely belongs to the strongest. It belongs to those who understand the rules others cannot see. Money works the same way. The average person sees money as income. The wealthy see money as energy. The average person exchanges time for money. The wealthy exchange systems for money. The average person asks, "How can I make more?" The wealthy ask, "How can this continue producing when I am asleep?" This single difference changes everything. Think about it. A farmer plants one seed. A laborer sells 1 hour. One multiplies. One exchanges. Most people spend their entire lives exchanging. Very few spend their lives multiplying. And multiplication is where power begins. But there is an even darker truth. The game is not only financial, it is psychological. Money amplifies human nature. It does not change it. If someone is disciplined without money, they become more disciplined with money. If someone is reckless without money, they become more reckless with money. If someone seeks validation without money, they become addicted to validation with money. Money reveals character. It exposes weakness. It magnifies strength. This is why so many people become rich and then lose everything. The money changed, but the mind never did. And here lies one of the most dangerous traps on the silent battlefield. People focus on acquiring wealth. Few focus on becoming the person capable of keeping it. That distinction matters, because wealth is attracted to value, but it remains only with discipline. Comment below. Discipline creates wealth. If you understand that statement, you are already ahead of most people. Now let's go deeper. Every society operates on invisible hierarchies. Some are obvious, others are hidden, but they all exist. The people at the top understand leverage. The people at the bottom understand effort. The tragedy is that effort alone rarely wins. The strongest horse does not always win the race. The horse with the best strategy often does. Look around. Some people work incredibly hard, yet remain trapped. Others appear relaxed, yet wealth flows toward them. Why? Because effort and leverage are not the same thing. Leverage is the ability to produce greater outcomes with fewer inputs. A book can influence millions. A video can reach millions. A business system can serve millions. One action, massive outcome. That is leverage. And leverage is one of the most powerful weapons on the battlefield of money. But there is another weapon: attention. Money follows attention. Businesses fight for it. Governments regulate it. Social media monetizes it. Advertisers purchase it. And yet most people give it away freely. Every distraction, every meaningless argument, every wasted hour, you're spending your most valuable currency. Attention. Because where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, results emerge. This is why successful people guard their focus. Not because they are antisocial, but because they understand the economics of attention. The distracted mind becomes easy to control. The focused mind becomes dangerous. Dangerous in the best possible sense. Dangerous to mediocrity. Dangerous to excuses. Dangerous to limitation. The battlefield is not outside. The battlefield is within. And that realization changes everything. Many people think their greatest obstacle is lack of opportunity. Often it is lack of clarity. Because a confused mind cannot build wealth. A distracted mind cannot build momentum. A divided mind cannot build power. The ancient philosophers understood this. The Stoics understood this. The strategists understood this. The empire builders understood this. Master the mind, and the external world begins to change. Fail to master the mind, and even opportunity becomes invisible. This brings us to one of Machiavelli's most overlooked lessons. Perception creates reality. Not always, but often. People do not respond to truth. They respond to what they believe is true. Think about that carefully. Brands understand it. Politicians understand it. Influencers understand it. Perception influences value, and value influences money. This is why two people can possess identical skills while earning vastly different incomes. One understands positioning, the other does not. One understands visibility, the other remains hidden. One understands influence, the other hopes to be discovered. Hope is not a strategy, visibility is. And in today's world, attention has become one of the most valuable assets available. The question becomes, are you consuming attention or creating it? That answer may determine your future, because every empire begins with influence. Every influence begins with attention, and every attention begins with value. The greatest mistake people make is believing money is the destination. Money is not the destination. Freedom is. Choice is. Control over your time is. The ability to spend life according to your values is. Money is simply the vehicle. But too many people worship the vehicle and forget the destination. And when that happens, they become trapped. They chase more, then more, then more, without ever asking why. The silent battlefield claims many victims this way, not through poverty, through endless pursuit. The pursuit itself becomes the prison. So ask yourself, why do you want wealth? Not the answer society expects, your answer. Freedom, security, impact, family, adventure, contribution. Because if your purpose is unclear, money will only magnify confusion. But if your purpose is clear, money becomes a powerful servant, never a master, and that distinction may be one of the most important lessons you ever learn. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to the silent battlefield. Because here, we do not discuss money as numbers. We discuss money as power, as psychology, as strategy, as human nature, and as a tool for building a life most people only dream about. Now tell me in the comments, what is the biggest financial lesson life has taught you so far? I read every comment, and your answer may help someone else on this battlefield. Because the war is silent, but the consequences are loud. And this is only the beginning. Now let us move deeper into the battlefield. Because what we have discussed so far is only the outer wall of the fortress. The true game begins when you realize that most people are not poor because they lack money. They are poor because they have been programmed to think in a certain way. That statement may sound harsh, but stay with me. The greatest prison ever built was not made of steel bars. It was built inside the human mind. From childhood, people are taught to seek security, play it safe, do not take risks, follow the crowd, fit in, do what everyone else is doing. The problem is that wealth rarely rewards conformity. History does not celebrate the people who followed the crowd. History celebrates those who saw what the crowd could not see. The entrepreneur, the inventor, the visionary, the strategist, the builder. Every great fortune begins with seeing something differently. And that requires courage. The courage to think independently. The courage to stand alone. The courage to make decisions that others do not understand. Machiavelli understood this. He observed that the masses often move according to emotion, while leaders move according to strategy. Most people spend their lives reacting. Very few spend their lives designing. And there is a tremendous difference between the two. Reaction is survival. Design is power. The person reacting to bills, emergencies, and circumstances remains trapped in the cycle. The person designing systems begins to control outcomes. This is why wealthy people often seem calm during chaos. While everyone else panics, they position. While everyone else complains, they prepare. While everyone else sees disaster, they see opportunity. This is not because they are lucky. It is because they understand a principle that changes everything. Every crisis transfers wealth. Read that again. Every crisis transfers wealth. The question is never whether money disappears. The question is where it moves. When fear enters the market, wealth moves. When industries collapse, wealth moves. When technology changes, wealth moves. When society evolves, wealth moves. The average person asks, "How do I survive this?" The strategist asks, "Where is the opportunity hiding?" This mindset alone can transform a life. Comment below, "Opportunity hides inside chaos." Because those who understand this principle stop fearing change. Instead, they begin studying it. And those who study change often become the ones who benefit from it. Now let's talk about something uncomfortable. Comfort itself. Comfort is one of the most expensive luxuries on earth. Not because it costs money, because it costs growth. The human mind loves comfort. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels predictable. But comfort rarely creates greatness. The strongest muscles are built through resistance. The sharpest minds are built through challenge. The most successful people are forged through adversity. And wealth follows the same law. Most people spend their lives attempting to eliminate discomfort. The successful learn how to use discomfort as fuel. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes information. Every rejection becomes refinement. They stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" That single question changes everything. Because life is always teaching. The battlefield is always revealing weaknesses. The battlefield is always exposing blind spots. And those who pay attention gain wisdom that money cannot buy. Think about the greatest lessons in your own life. They probably did not come from easy times. They came from struggle, loss, failure, disappointment, betrayal, moments that forced you to evolve. This is why challenges are not enemies. They are teachers. And the people who learn fastest often rise fastest. Now here is where the battlefield becomes truly dangerous. Many people believe they are chasing money. In reality, they are chasing status. There is a difference, a huge difference. Money creates options. Status seeks approval. Money creates freedom. Status seeks admiration. Money solves problems. Status creates performances. Many people buy things they do not need to impress people they do not like. And they spend years trapped in financial stress because of it. The battlefield loves vanity. Because vanity makes people predictable. Predictable people are easy to manipulate, easy to sell to, easy to influence, easy to control. This is why self-awareness becomes such a powerful weapon. When you understand your own weaknesses, others cannot easily use them against you. When you understand your own desires, you become harder to manipulate. When you understand your own fears, you become harder to control. The most dangerous person in any room is often the one who understands themselves. Because self-mastery creates independence, and independence creates power. This is why personal development is not separate from wealth. They are connected. The stronger your character becomes, the stronger your financial foundation becomes. The more disciplined your mind becomes, the more disciplined your actions become. The more disciplined your actions become, the more predictable your success becomes. Success is rarely a mystery. Success is usually a collection of repeated behaviors, repeated daily, repeated weekly, repeated yearly. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 month, and dramatically underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. The battlefield rewards patience, yet modern society rewards urgency. Everything is now instant, immediate, fast, but real wealth grows differently, like a tree, slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, until one day everyone notices the shade. People see the result. They do not see the years of growth underneath. And this creates one of the greatest illusions in modern life. People admire success, but they avoid the process. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the outcome, without the discipline, the freedom, without the responsibility. And the battlefield never allows that. Every reward carries a price. The question is whether you are willing to pay it. Now let us discuss one of the hidden mechanics of money that few people understand. Money moves toward value, not effort. Value. This is important because many people work incredibly hard, yet struggle financially. Hard work matters. But hard work alone is not enough. The marketplace rewards solutions. The larger the problem you solve, the greater the reward. The more people you help, the greater the reward. The more valuable your contribution becomes, the greater your leverage becomes. This is why a single innovation can generate billions. This is why a single idea can change an entire industry. Value scales, effort does not. This realization changed my understanding of money forever. The question stopped being, how hard can I work? And became, how much value can I create? That shift changes everything, because it moves you from labor to leverage, from survival to strategy, from consumption to creation. And creators shape the future. Consumers react to it. So ask yourself honestly, are you primarily consuming or creating? Are you building or merely observing? Are you shaping your destiny or waiting for someone else to shape it for you? The answers may reveal more than you realize. Now let me tell you something Machiavelli would have understood immediately. The world rewards usefulness, not intentions, not wishes, not excuses. Usefulness. The person who becomes useful becomes valuable. The person who becomes valuable becomes influential. The person who becomes influential gains leverage. And leverage creates opportunities. This is why continuous learning matters. Not because knowledge sounds impressive, because knowledge increases usefulness, and usefulness increases power. Every skill you acquire becomes another weapon on the battlefield. Communication, leadership, sales, negotiation, discipline, emotional intelligence, financial literacy, strategic thinking. Each skill compounds. Each skill multiplies opportunities. Each skill increases your ability to navigate uncertainty. And uncertainty is where fortunes are often built. As we continue this journey, remember one thing. The battlefield is not against other people. It is against your weaker self, the version of you that seeks comfort over growth, the version of you that chooses excuses over responsibility, the version of you that wants rewards without effort. Defeat that version, and the external battles become much easier, because the greatest victory is not financial, it is personal. It is becoming someone capable of handling wealth, influence, responsibility, and power without being destroyed by them. That is true growth. That is true development. And that is how empires are built, not merely through money, but through the transformation of the individual who controls it. If you are still watching, comment below. I am building my empire. Because the next chapter of the silent battlefield will reveal the hidden relationship between power, influence, social dynamics, and financial control, and why most people never even realize the game they are playing. Now, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe to the channel, but if you want to master the game of money, then you already know what to do. And remember, the battlefield is silent, but every day someone wins, and every day someone loses. The question is, which side are you preparing for?